Let's look at how using prompts can help us get better answers using ChatGPT. Throughout this video, I'll show you how you can make your own prompts. Let's get started. Here we are in ChatGPT. I have the ChatGPT Plus account here, as you can see. By default, the Plus account uses version 3.5 of the GPT model. Let's get started by asking a question we might have used in the past with Google. We'll ask, find a hotel in New York City for less than $250 a night. You'll notice I used NYC as an abbreviation for New York City and left off the $ for $250. No problem. ChatGPT figured out the context and gave me a helpful answer. Okay, so here are some recommendations. First, notice there are no links, which isn't surprising for this tool. There are no reviews, no phone numbers, and I'd still have to end up doing a Google search to find out what I really want, which is a link to book the hotel. All in all, not a great result. Let's compare this result to what we'd get if we put in the same search terms with Google. Below the ads, we get a list of hotels with a nice map of Midtown with hotels and prices, all ready for us to click. Okay, so ChatGPT isn't going to find us a great hotel, but with prompts, maybe we can get a better result. So what is prompting? Think of it as providing context to your request to elicit a better response. In simple terms, think of it as programming with words using a conversational tone. Basic prompts are often too short and don't provide any instructions. Examples of basic prompts might be something like, write a story about a dog. What kind of dog? Whose dog? Where does the story take place? Write a blog post about Python. The programming language or the snake? Find a hotel in New York City. For how many people? For how many nights? And starting when? You see the problem. Without proper context, you really can't fault ChatGPT for giving us back mediocre results. So let's see how we can improve the initial request to ChatGPT. I'll copy and paste in our first prompt, which reads, you are a travel agent specializing in finding hotel options for your clients. When provided the destination city, the number of travelers, as well as the desired travel dates and the maximum price per night, you use your extensive knowledge of past prices, tips, and tricks to suggest the best hotel options. Your recommendations should be near interesting tourist destinations, public transportation, and great restaurants. You provide links to any hotels you recommend, along with reviews on popular travel sites. Later in this video, I'll break down this prompt and discuss what's going on. For now, let's just submit it. Notice in our response, we get a series of questions from ChatGPT that we need to answer. Basically, we've parameterized our request, so let's fill in the data. We'll say, New York City, family of 3, June 10th through the 14th, and $250. And look at that, we get back a list of hotels and prices, along with the links on Booking.com. Great, let's see what we have. First is a link for Hotel Indigo. Page not found. How about the Courtyard Hotel? Nope, same thing. Okay, come on, Pod 51. Nope, page not found. Okay, so recommendations look fine, but the links aren't active. Keep in mind, ChatGPT's training data was cut off in September 2021, so the links may not be accurate. Microsoft is an investor in OpenAI, the creator of ChatGPT. They've recently added AI features to their Bing search engine. The beauty of this is it has current data as well as the intelligence of ChatGPT, so let's try running our prompt script there. This is the Bing ChatGPT interface, so let's paste in the same prompt we used before. It asks us the same questions. To be consistent, we'll use the same answers once again. New York, family of 3, June 10th to the 14th, and $250 maximum per night. It gives us back some links too, so let's check them out. So this link isn't working. I did check on the hotel. They do have rooms, but the rates start around $700 per night. Not quite what I had in mind. Next is the Four Seasons. I can already tell you this is not going to be under $250. This is the kind of hotel where they film White Lotus. Okay, let's try the last one. The Chat Wall. Looks expensive already. Let's check. Wow, $762 per night. Okay, so what have we learned so far? Prompts are better than searching, but ChatGPT, even when integrated with Bing, at least for now, isn't a great search engine. But let's take what we learned about prompt writing and apply it to a task no search engine could handle. Back in ChatGPT, we'll write, I want you to act as a Linux terminal. I'll type commands and you will reply with what the terminal would show. I want you to only reply with terminal output inside one unique code block and nothing else. Do not write explanations. Do not type commands unless I instruct you to do so. When I need to tell you something in English, I will do so by putting text inside curly brackets like this. My first command is pwd. And look at that. We have what looks like the home directory in a Linux machine. Let's type ls. Looks like we have a default home directory with a lot of directories. We'll type in ls-acf, and we can see some hidden files as well. This is pretty cool. Let's cd into the documents directory. Not sure what that message means, not exactly Linuxy. We'll type in ls and see what's there. Okay, so let's see what's in the notes.txt file by running the cat command. Cool. Okay, so now let's open it with VI. And we hit the roadblock. Simulation over. Well, that was fun, and you can start to see what's possible. Let's try doing something more practical. Let's open up a chat window and type in, I want you to act like an interviewer for a junior candidate who's applying for a job as a Java programmer at your firm. You're the tech lead for the position, and the candidate, if hired, will be reporting directly to you. You're a friendly boss, but expect others to pull their weight. Come up with questions that you believe will help identify the ideal candidate for the role and eliminate those who are not qualified for the position. And here we go. Looking through these questions, I love these. They focus on how people might approach a problem versus expecting anyone to memorize Java syntax. If you don't like these questions, you can ask ChatGPT to refine the list. Let's ask, what about some more technical questions? And there you go. Some more technical questions you can use to help identify your best candidate. And if you need it, you can even come up with some coding assignments. We'll ask, come up with some coding tests for the candidates to perform. Here we have some coding problems you could give to your candidates to make sure you identify the best of the best. Now let's look at another way using prompts you can instruct ChatGPT to be your teacher. Let's open a new chat window and put in the following. I want you to act as a spoken English teacher and improver. I will speak to you in English, and you will reply to me in English to practice my spoken English. I want you to keep your reply neat, limiting the reply to 100 words. I want you to strictly correct my grammar mistakes, typos, and factual errors. I want you to ask me questions in your reply. Now let's start practicing. You could ask me a question first. Remember, I want you to strictly correct my grammar, mistakes, typos, and factual errors. You'll notice in this prompt, we're programming the tool with our language. Here are the steps for getting the best outcome when writing prompts. The first thing we did was start a new conversation by selecting New Chat. This will prevent ChatGPT from referring to any previous information you may have given it, effectively starting with a clean slate. You can also tell it to forget previous information, but I like starting a new thread for each new topic. Next, we provide ChatGPT with context. We ask it to act as if. Act like an attorney, a motivational speaker, or a highly skilled staff engineer. This will help it focus on the task and give us better, more specific answers, and not general rambling advice. Next, we provide instructions on what we want done. It could be writing code, writing a blog post, critiquing a resume, or whatever other task we're trying to get done. We should be clear in our instructions, provide background information, ask it to ask us questions, ask it if it understands what we want, and repeat for emphasis anything that's critical for what we're doing. Finally, when we get a response, if you don't like it, ask ChatGPT to refine the response. Make it longer, shorter, more detailed, less detailed, provide evidence of its conclusions, whatever makes sense for your task. Using these steps will help you create a great ChatGPT prompt so you always get good responses. It might be a bit intimidating to get started writing your own prompts. So here's a great resource to get you thinking creatively. The website prompts.chat contains more information on writing your own prompts and includes dozens of prompts you can use or adapt for your own work. It's useful to create a library of prompts from the work you've done in the past so that you can save and adapt them, and include any refinements you've made along the way. The best way to do this is to export your conversations from ChatGPT and save them in Notion, OneNote, or something similar. To export your conversations, over the left panel of the ChatGPT interface, click the three dots next to your name. In the list that appears, click Settings, and then from the pop-up dialog, select Data Controls. From there, you can select Export Data. The data will be sent to the email address that you used to set up your account. Go ahead and confirm the export. You'll receive an email message with a link to download the zip file. Go ahead and download the file and then open it. How you process it at this point is up to you. It's stored as JSON, but for our purposes, let's click on the chat.html file so we can see it in our browser. And there's the list of conversations we've had. User, of course, is what you typed in, and ChatGPT is the response. You can copy and paste this information into your favorite note-taking app like OneNote, Notion, Evernote, or whatever you use. All right, that's it for now. If you found this content useful, please share it with others. Thanks for watching, and remember to always begin secure.